Hello and welcome back to Rogue Trader. We have our party together and we are taking back the bridge. So, we're going to continue doing that. We're going to head up here and we're going to have to figure out how we open this door. Now, we have 6 explosives, so I think what we're going to do is we're going to blow it up. Let's see if that's true.
I better myself through my service.
Yes. Yes, we did. Wonderful. Right. And in we go.
Blessed be
Okay,
the
so
road
where
that
are
we
we
take.
exactly? Oh, so we're on the upper decks where we were before. So if I pause it here, yeah, so this is where we initially started the game, I think. Like this bit, and this is where we got ambushed, right over here. Okay. I believe we're heading for this door right there, but we'll see. Okay, so let's just try and make our way over. We also got some deck enforcers on the lower deck that apparently are interactable. Oh, let's have a look over this way first. Just to check for things. Some of the animations are not quite going off, but that's okay.
Fit for a servitor.
What have we got here? Ah, we got some more random bits of stuff. It's okay. Here? The fallen steel has blocked the path to the lifts. You will have to look for another way to Edelthrad. Okay. Let's try opening this with tech use.
Oh, come on.
It's locked. Okay. Can I try it again?
Experience?
Yes.
Nothing
Okay,
matters
you
more.
can just try it with the next person. I guess once you've used everyone, though, that's it. You're out of chances. It's okay. Grants 5% to armor. That seems that should be an Abelard thing, right? It kind of seems like he should be the person who has extra stuff to armor because he's the person who's going to be standing at the front, right in front of the enemy. Okay, that's good. Head over here. We've got more goods on this body. Got somewhere we can't go over there. So this is what we saw through the wall. Multi-key. Cool. The benches and even the cogitator torn from its proper place are stacked in a rough semblance of a barricade. Okay. So, we've got one way we can go. Well, that's not good. Well, let's cross. Well, that's a lot of explosions. I can't see. Can't see. Oh, hello. The roar of the flames rings in your ears, and the choking smoke makes you cough and gasp for air. You instinctively recoil from the scorching heat, wiping your face. A moment later, a hazy silhouette forms in the raging wall of fire. You're surrounded by ear-splitting noise and screaming, yet you distinctly hear the voice of footsteps, and then you see a figure walk out of the fire towards you. It is Theodora von Valancius. Her expression is calm, terrifyingly so for someone whose body is engulfed in an inferno. One of her hands is resting on the hilt of her power sword, the other is raised in an inviting gesture. Are you lost, my heir? Argenta goes as still as a statue, then slowly raises her weapon. An apparition! A sorceress apparition! Trickery of the warp! Sister, you will lower your weapon. Despite his commanding tone, Abelard does not sound too confident. He is staring at the rogue trader, and you notice a muscle in his cheek twitching. Threatening the Lord Captain is outrageous. How did you get here? I am a rogue trader, Calder. I am wherever my will demands me to be. Would you prefer me to be elsewhere at this time? Indubitably. But are you ready? Theodora watches you without blinking. Her snake-like gaze almost makes you forget about the fire searing you, leaving burns in your skin. I can lead you out of these flames, Calder. Show you a path, rid you of pain, and give you a weapon so you may defeat your enemies. Decide. Do not listen to this abomination, Calder, if there is naught but his light in your heart, if you are resolute in your faith and step into the flames, the Emperor protects. His faithful will not be deterred by either darkness or deceitful promises, nor will the fire burn those who carry the torch of faith in their soul. To the void with you. We need to follow Lady Theodora before we suffocate in this furnace. The people! Abelard looks back at the coughing and confused people around you. Calder, the survivors from the middle decks. We must help the crew and lead them out. Find a way around. Over the roaring flames you hear distant sounds, frightened voices, screams, muffled and distorted, as if there were a body of water between you and them. Then we'll miss our chance to meet up with Ed. Adira breaks off and starts coughing violently. Her knees buckle and she looks like she's about to fall. Calder, what are we waiting for? Sometimes your character will have to make tough decisions based on their values, interests, and goals. Such decisions affect their convictions that can develop in 3 different directions: Imperialis, Benevolentia, and Hereticus. Each includes 5 ranks. The higher the rank, the more zealously the character follows their convictions, and the more noticeably the world around them reacts to their actions and decisions. Promotion through the ranks of each of these 3 directions opens up access to new dialogue lines, events, unique abilities, and also changes the attitude of others towards your character. So I can say Imperialist, which is go with Sister Argenta's idea of walking through the flames. I can be a heretic and accept the offer of taking my pain away. Or I can try and save the people. You know what? Let's try and save the people. I will not leave my people in harm's way. You look away, and the illusion breaks. The unbearable heat instantly makes your skin burn, and the voices of the people beyond the shroud of smoke grow stronger and hopeful. Once you and your companions rush back, barking orders and guiding the survivors, in your determination you completely forget about Theodora. When you turn your head, you see nothing but billowing flame. Back, fall back. We will go around. Okay. Let's go around. Interesting.
Carry the Emperor's will as your torch.
So, let's go this way. Oh, what's this? Crash the platform, ballistic skill? I think this is our option. Do it. Okay, that worked. Well, we've made our way across. Let's head.
Wish.
We head across here. Oh, we got access to the loot. No, don't run me away from the loot. Too late. We are too late. Abelard throws up his hands in despair. Or perhaps Edelthrad and his escort never made it here, which would be even worse. Or they could be fighting on the bridge as we speak. Argenta grips her weapon. Without us. Oh. What are we meant to be seeing over here? Don't know. My lord, I beg your pardon for interrupting. The officer quickly bows. The people are asking for orders. You came back to save us. Now we will follow you through thick and thin. To the bridge. If Edelthrad is there, then he requires immediate assistance. Abelard turns to you. I say, Calder, there is one thing I find most troubling. The Lord Captain's voxcasts. They are still coming in, even though it would make sense for Lady Theodora to be on the bridge right now at the head of the counter-assault. I feel uneasy. What if the Lord Captain is besieged in her own chambers? With your permission, I suggest we confirm for ourselves that she is not. We use the same elevator that Lady Theodora and Mort headed for earlier. Okay. We failed to make the meeting with the heir, but that's okay. Because I don't think we could. That's that.
Onward.
Okay, back over here. Let's grab the goods. Okay, they were just goods. That's fine. Whatever. We will ignore it. And now we can head in there. Now, what happens if I ignore that and head down this way? Just out of curiosity. Oh, it's blocked. I see. That's fine. Let's do a quick save. And then head on in.
Over there.
Okay. Yep. I want the goods. Okay, or not. Oh, he's opening a door for us. That's nice. I want these goods, though. Fantastic. More goods. Let's head over here.
Ominous lurks ahead.
And continue exploring this place. Grab all this. The room clearly does not serve as a stateroom. The generator's machines and crude wall paneling indicate that it is a maintenance module room rather than an area for receiving guests. Oh yeah, by the way, I meant to say, this is one way of doing it. In my practice run, or my test run of this, just spamming through the dialogue options, I chose the first one, and you do walk through the flames, which is kind of interesting, but it ends up going to the same place. So I'm not sure how much the dialogue options are going to affect, maybe because it's a tutorial it doesn't, but I'd assume each of the 3 options would then have a different route through. Like, one's through the flame, one's around here, accepting the heretical thing, maybe you like get some power that takes out the flame or something, I don't know, but essentially they all lead down the exact same kind of railroaded path, at least for just now. But it's also the start of the game, so you'd expect it to be a little bit railroady and, you know, kind of focused on tutorialization. Grants a bonus to logic checks. Okay. Who's good at logic? I think, was it you previously who was good at logic? You had 30. Okay, let's give you the... Oh, you already have glasses. Well, your logic is also 30. Let's give you whatever these are. Okay, well, that looks ridiculous, but sure. Let's go with it. Alright, head back along this way.
Would you look at that?
You spot a secret door? Where? See, I like that it pauses when you find something. And that is one of the options in the menu, is that it can pause. But, also, can this log be larger? Anyway, there we go. But I would love it if it showed you where the secret door was that she'd spotted. You know, that kind of thing. It's like, yeah, cool, you've shown me a secret, that there is a secret door, but now I have to spend, you know, our next bit of time, you know, going around like this, going, is it here? Is it here? Is it here?
I go where the
Unless you just
whispers
spotted
lead.
that door. Don't know, what's this? So it's the... Yeah, same thing. Okay, back this way. Maybe it was in here? No, we didn't see this. Plasma conduits blaze with energy capable of powering a vast void ship. Okay,
Nice
must be
little
outside
stroll.
then? Secret door, secret door. I'm gonna keep looking for it. What's this? Generators hum softly. Maybe it's over here. I'm thinking maybe we saw it through a wall. Yeah, I don't know what we found then in terms of a secret door. Oh, it does look like there's another area here. We could have found it in this area that we can't access yet. Maybe? I don't know. Well, let's go. Lord Captain's chambers. We discovered something. But where exactly that something is, who knows? Probably not very important. Or we discovered the door we went through, which is the other thing. Right. Click any key to continue. Well, these are her chambers. They're very nice. Head this way. Nothing to loot in her
I'll
bedroom.
warn you if I hear anything.
Okay. Ooh, there is stuff to loot over here, though. Potentially. Oh, over that way. Nothing to loot in her fountain room.
Say no more.
Bath. Okay. And here. Aha. Oh, that's not good. So the voice we've been hearing over the Vox was not her. Must have been the apparition that
If
spoke
such
to
is
us.
the Emperor's will.
Okay, let's grab the goods. Requires Imperialis adherent. This helmet grants us wear immunity to enemy critical hits for the first 3 rounds of combat. I mean, that's definitely like a you thing, I think. Oh, although wait a second, what's his thing? Imperialis 1. It's doctrine, not doctrines. Is it? It's here. So you're benevolentia. You're hereticus, which is a little bit interesting. Okay, so yeah, you're the only person who can wear that. That's fine. I guess we will wear these, which doesn't make a lot of sense. Maybe we'll wear the helmet that grants armor, just so that everyone can have a thing on. There you go. We lose our fancy red hat, but that's okay. Grab the goods. I'm going to deliberately ignore her for just now. Theodora's Rosary. The wearer of this amulet gains a bonus to commerce and lower Imperium checks equal to their fell bonus. Okay. Well, our fell bonus is pretty bad. Yeah. So, that's a you thing. Put that there. Let's grab what's in the safe. And a rogue trader's cloak. A bonus to fellowship for each enemy within a 2 cell radius. Well, that's definitely a you thing. You already had a cloak on. What's it do? Oh, it requires benevolentia adherence. So actually, he's the only one who can use that right now. So it's definitely for him, as we thought earlier. I guess your fellowship isn't terrible. Why don't you use that for just now?
What deeds await us?
Deliberately ignoring her. The parlor organ seems to have been sitting idle for many years, and I just want to check this side of things. Bizarre fragment hung on a trophy board. The light smooth surface of the object is dotted with dark spots and crumbling holes. Okay. Let's find out what's up with her now. The scene of the murder looks like something... Okay, I was reading that, but okay. We'll read it later. Theodora von Valancius's body is sprawled on the large, blood-drenched desk. The arch-militant's corpse, still clutching a weapon, is lying on the floor by one of the bulkheads. The Sister of Battle surveys the scene, her gaze lingering on the arch-militant's body. Emperor, accept thy faithful souls. No! Adira's heart-rending scream shakes the walls. She collapses to her knees, her body shuddering as she weeps. Aye, Lord Captain. I didn't hear a sting. Not a whisper, not a breath. It was so loud. Why didn't I foresee this? Abelard, stunned, takes a few steps forward and leans heavily on the edge of the desk. His eyes are locked on Theodora's body. Lord Captain, who would even dare, unless that rat Voigtver? I doubt it. Voigtver wished humiliation and suffering upon Theodora, not a swift death. It could have happened in a heat of battle, not to mention that Mort was here. He would have protected Lady Theodora to the last. How could Mort have failed her so terribly? The Arch-Militant was born on a death world. He had lightning-fast reflexes. Adira gets up, sobs and gets up. She glances around, looking lost. I can look at things in my own way. If you find something that might bear imprint of the killer, just give it to me. I'll try to see what secret it holds. Let's examine Theodora's body. You lean closer to the body. The cause of death is apparent. What ended the rogue trader's life was an auto-pistol shot, an extraordinarily accurate one at that. Theodora's face bears an expression of surprise, the last emotion she experienced in life. Sitting on the floor, something on the floor catches your eye, a heap of blood-splattered parchments and scrolls that must have fallen off the desk. As you lean down for a closer look, you notice something else, small shards of glass scattered on the floor. Adira, what do these shards tell you? Adira scoops up a handful of shards and clenches them in her fist with such strength that blood starts dripping on the floor. I see. Streaks of colour, luminescence, blue lights, faces drawing closer. Lady Theodora and Kunrad and... What is that? She shakes her hand, looking frightened. Something dark, enormous. Oh, Calder. This last thing was something nasty, that's for sure. Tainted witchcraft. You cannot tell if Argenta's remark is directed at the glass shards or Adira herself. Adira, would you try touching Theodora? You might be able to see the killer through her eyes. Adira's whole body shudders. It doesn't work like that. I can try and read the memories of objects, but dead bodies are a different story. Something like that would require a soul. And after what we saw on the officer's deck, I won't risk searching for it in the warp. Okay, let's inspect the shards by the desk. It's difficult to say what exactly was broken. The object fell on the floor, and that is as much as you can ascertain. Upon closer examination, the shards appear iridescent rather than completely transparent, as if they had been submerged in promethium, a broad term for combustible fuel in the Imperium of man. Alright, let's examine her body. An auto-pistol shot went straight through Mort's forehead, splaying on the floor and furniture around with blood, brain matter and shards of his skull. The safety of the Arch-Militant's weapon is off. The killer must have been a split second quicker than he. Inspect the papers. Reports, accounts, dispatches. You over the scrolls until you stumble upon a document that is starkly different from the rest. It is a handwritten letter signed with the initials XC and a seal with a symbol that is vaguely familiar to you, and sends a shiver down your spine. The author of this letter, addressed to Theodora von Valancius, signed with the seal of one of the holy ordos of the Emperor's Inquisition, the secret place of the Imperium that relentlessly hunts heretic Xenos and other enemies of humanity. Okay, basically what I just said is what that says. We'd best be on our way. Yes, the crucible of battle calls to me once more. No, wait, we must see if we can find anything. Adira. Abelard lays a hand on her shoulder. You can't bring her back. Let her go. You give up so easily, old man. Expected as much from the sister, but it's not like she has a heart. But you... Oh no, I'll get to the bottom of this. I'll find the one responsible for murdering the Lord Captain. And when I do... Adira clenches her fist. That scum will regret the day they were born. Okay. A lot of loyalty showing from Adira there. Yeah, feel like there's more to their story. As in the Lord Captain and her story together. Okay, well, it's time to press on. We got over here, nothing there. Okay, well, we're going this way then. Or... hello.
Suffer not the heretic to live.
Crush them.
Working out where we want to be. I think we want her here. We want to be sitting like... Try to see if there's a better spot for us. No, I guess we want to be here. Want Adira here. I guess I'll put Abelard there for just now, just to protect from these guys. But overall, my plan is to run them forward. Okay. I think this has to be what we're going with here. Yeah. Switch to the combat log. Okay. I think we're ready. Start the battle. That was interesting. Well, they took a slice at him. Another slice at him. Combat Servitor's taking a lot of damage. Okay.
Brace yourself,
We took a reasonable amount there. Lightning's gonna perform very well.
Me.
So she's got a fresh wound. Light and medium armor. Armor protects the character from incoming damage. Light and medium armor types are available to you at the moment. The armor stat indicates what percentage of incoming damage from the enemy attack it can absorb. The type of armor also determines how successful the character wearing it will make dodge checks. The higher the dodge penalty, the lower the chance to dodge an enemy attack. A character in light armor dodges attacks more often but takes more damage. Medium armor's mid, and then heavy's, you know, so on and so forth. Okay. Abelard gets to go first. Well, I think we'll use his slice ability, unless he's got something else which is good. Yeah, let's go for slice like this.
I will do my duty. One fewer target.
Or slash. That's fine. And then we can charge this one.
That's not the Seneschal's job.
No, we can't charge this one. I guess I don't have. I can't. It's not far enough away, maybe, to charge. Okay. In which case, we could do this to apply deflection. Yeah, let's do that. That gives these two deflection. Be nice. So that is for 1 round, Navy officer and their allies in a 3-cell radius gain +2 deflection for each doctrine taken by the Navy officer. They can also not be forcefully moved or over-penetrated, and then we'll do an endure as well. Cool. So we're much tankier. Let's go, end turn. We get a shot. I'm wanting to kill this one, ideally. Let's do it. I'm going to follow it up with a shot on the run. And then I'm going to shoot them again. Nice. So the rest of them are all grouped. I could do this as well. It doesn't look like the combat's going to last very long. Well, although... Well, maybe, sure. Let's do it. Because that'll stop any friendly fire as well. Cool. Your character will encounter enemies with different abilities, skills, and aptitudes. The status icon on the portrait of the enemy indicates that they're under the influence of some kind of effect. So that must be talking about this one. So I can right-click on them to find out more. So he's heavily damaged. Servitor's heavily damaged. Damage, chance to hit and HP are greatly reduced, and it has a fresh wound. Okay, fair enough. Could shoot it like this. Doesn't seem like it's going to do very much damage, though. Is that because it's got armor? It's got 0% armor. So this just does very little damage to it. Okay, could war him as well. That seems useful. Let's do war him,
for the weak.
even before doing anything else. Just to raise our momentum significantly. Then I'm going to just start firing, I think. Let's do it.
As the Emperor commands, I act. Eradicated.
Nice. Okay. And then we're out of actions. So that's fine. Then Adira. I'm thinking we immediately start with some lightning here.
But of course. Be gone.
Injury is not an excuse to shirk one's duty.
I have a question about that. Did our thing not specifically say that it would give us immunity to friendly fire? I would call that friendly fire personally.
Indeed.
Okay, well, not ideal. She's not dead, but, you know, still not ideal.
At your beck and call. Grey hair, sure hair.
Okay. And then get some more health.
Ah!
Okay, end turn. Working out where we want to be. This guy doesn't really care about cover, so I'm not going to care about cover. I'm just going to run over here. And just start taking shots. There we go. Then we'll give ourselves another action. And we will take another shot. Okay. That's fine. I suppose I could dash back in here now. Yeah, let's dash away as well, just to make sure that we're a little bit protected. Argenta. Start firing.
Faith without deeds is worthless.
Okay, we hit once, which is as much as we would have hit with had we used single shots, so it's still fine. Let's do... Oh, no, it's actually this one I want to do this time. Cancel the fact that I had dash selected. And then fire. Okay. Not ideal, but that's fine. We have to reload next turn. Nice attack of opportunity. It has to run away. Okay, we got a dodge and very little damage. It's fine. I can now do this to charge in. Followed by hitting it.
It will be done.
Nice. That would have been fine had we not, you know, electrified ourselves here. Broken ribs. Action points are reduced by 1. That seems like the kind of thing we should repair. Let me read this again. All the commander's allies also take no damage from friendly fire attacks. Well, that didn't work. Or I don't understand. Maybe it means the allies that are next to the commander? Like, maybe you have to do it... Yeah, maybe the buff only applies to allies that are next to your commander. That's what it must mean. Okay.
Sometimes
we live and learn.
Live
and learn.
Right,
let's apply that
and weigh every step.
Adira.
Sometimes,
Just
though,
in time.
you just fire your biggest cannon
Nice.
and save the day.
Wait, did that not heal this? Can I not heal this? Oh, no, I need to use the private quarters to heal that one because it's a different type of wood. Oh. Well, that's just annoying, but okay. Well, we'll live with it. Let's grab the loot. Where gains 5 toughness if their int is less than 35. It's interesting. Las pistols we already have on some people. I think we'll just stick with this. Okay. So, anyone have an intelligence that's... I have an intelligence that's that low. I guess we'll take the 5 toughness. Sure. It's fine. There's no more loot in the room by the looks of it. That's fine. And everyone gets to level up. So, let's start leveling. So we can upgrade the Marksman Doctrine. So, we can choose... I'm just seeing what we got here. Keystone ability is unlocked as well, apparently. We're 2 ranks. Oh, wait, are we leveling up to level 4? Interesting. Okay, so we get one of these talents. Rapid reload. It costs 1 less, or 2 AP less. And the first reload in combat is free. After the marksman deals damage to 3 different enemies, their next attack in combat will deal additional 10 plus 2 times the marksman's ballistic skill bonus, which is gonna be 2 times by like 4.5, so like 9% extra damage. Okay, so that'd be 19% extra damage. For every adjacent ally, the marksman deals additional 3 times the marksman's ballistic, so it's like 12, something like that. So like 17% extra damage for each person next to you. We have an additional 2 plus 2 times the marksman's agility bonus, which is like 3. So like we're talking like 8% critical hit chance. It's doubled against enemies from which the marksman has a cover at the moment of the shot. Okay. So if we're in cover and the enemy would we would get a cover bonus if the enemy was to attack us, we would get 18% crit chance. It's not bad. Each time the marksman deals damage, the critical hit damage is increased by 3% until the end of combat. Very nice for a long fight. Cover efficiency is up. I'm not going to look at all of them. I'm just going to look at the ones that suggested. I think that unpredictable sounds great for getting us through a difficult fight, potentially. Awareness. We could keep raising that. Yeah, sure. Let's go all in on awareness. Here we get our heroic act and our desperate measure, which is fine. We already looked at these before, which is okay. And then we can't choose awareness because we already have awareness. So it says I should choose demolition. Sure. Let's do what it says. To summary. Yeah, that seems okay. Yeah, that seems fine. Apply selections. Wonderful. And we are level 4. Wow. Okay. Fighter Doctrine. So first one. Increases movement points of the fighter by 4. That's your keystone ability. Huge. Then we choose a talent. Whenever the enemy attacks the fighter's next melee attack against that enemy deals an additional toughness bonus, additional 4 damage. Does not stack but can be reactivated after another attack made by the same or different enemy. Fighter has less than 50% wounds. They gain a 10 plus 2 times the toughness bonus plus agility bonus. So like 7, 14 to critical hit chance. So we're talking like a 24% critical hit. Whenever the fighter is attacked, they gain 1 stack of Epicenter of Slaughter. At the start of their turn, the fighter gains 1 temporary wound for each stack. These temporary wounds cannot exceed the fighter's toughness bonus. Okay. Oh, it goes up to 4, but still. Okay. The fighter deals an additional agi bonus damage to enemies that have no allies in adjacent squares. So an additional 3 damage. Okay. Is 1 damage deflection. Their parry chance gains 25% of the fighter's total armor. Total armor is 25%. Okay. Interesting. I don't know. I mean, I like critical hit chance. I think getting that early is always good. Because generally, like the short fights are not difficult. So you're talking like a long fight. And over the course of a long fight, you know, critical hits tend to matter quite a lot, I would think. Maybe I'm wrong. We also then get the next keystone ability, which is Daring Breach, which is restores all AP and MP and gains additional movement points until the end of the turn. And we can choose one of these. Let's take Carouse, because we don't have that. Cool. Apply selections. Dira now level 4. Dira. Okay. Logic or tech use? Let's go tech use. Here. Every enemy with clue inflicts 1 stack of clue on a random enemy within 3 cells around them at the start of their turn. Okay, so you can have clue kind of spread. That's a really cool thing if you can apply that early. Like if you applied that to a boss character early, then it starts applying it to all the minions around. That could be really neat. Tide of Excellence. When the adept triggers stacks of clues on enemies, the adept deals 1 damage and 2% armor penetration for every triggered clue until the end of combat. Okay. That's also really good. Yeah. I like all of these stacks till the end of combat stuff. It's kind of interesting. It's definitely implies like there's going to be like a buffing stage at the start of combat. You have to decide, do I go for damage early or do I try and set up some buffs to make it easier later? Exposed weakness also decreases the enemy's toughness and willpower. I don't think we're far enough in the game to know how that would affect things. Like toughness and willpower sound like you want to do something, then do another follow-up thing. Like you then want to throw like an attack that has a defense, like where they need willpower to defend against it, right? That we're not quite there yet. When we attack an enemy with 100% wounds, the enemy suffers additional 10 times the adept's perception bonus, which is 4. So it's 18% damage. Okay. Every ally in study enemy's area of an effect also gains an additional clue to the distribution. Okay, so if you can do it over the top of an ally, you can get more clues. Exposed weakness costs 0 AP. That's quite nice. That means you can always do it. I mean, I'm still not entirely... What does exposed weakness do? Let me leave this a second.
Did you want
Exposed weakness. Remove 1 stack of clue from the target to reduce its dodge, parry, and armor by 18% for 1 round. That's kind of neat. Yeah, I kind of like that.
That my whispers tell me jokes?
Right.
Jokes that once said aloud make your eyes bleed and blood curdle. Talk about black comedy.
Just seeing what we got here. Fresh target is interesting with the lightning, because you could effectively bounce that a bunch and just destroy a bunch of enemies instantly. I like instant expose. Let's take that. We get our keystone ability, which is good. And then we get this. We might as well take more tech use. Sure. Right. Apply selections. And now we have Argenta, who gets marksman upgrades, which is exactly what we just got. So, like, honestly, I know it's not, you know, very exciting, but I think our option is to take the exact same thing we took, which is unpredictable. Although maybe demolition is better for you. Oh yeah, it doesn't let us take it again. Maybe just take Lore Imperium. Yeah, let's get a lot of Lore Imperium going. Let's go. Okay. So we're now leveled up. Awesome.
The future is never certain.
Let's go. To the bridge. Okay. Goods? I like goods. Grab them. Ah, just generic goods. Lower warp.
Lesson learned.
We failed it. The nauseating vision... oh, I need to switch back to the other log to read it. The nauseating vision grimaces and grins as if mocking the suffering of mortals.
Let's proceed.
Okay. Sadelthrad. Any other loot here before we go and speak to him? Nope. Okay. Adelthrad, what's going on? Oh, a cutscene. Adelthrad, who is clutching a bleeding wound on his chest, gives you a tormented look. Help has arrived. Too late to change the tide, I'm afraid. If there was any honor in you, we can at least die with dignity and give our lives to the rogue trader. Let's tell him everything. Theodora von Valancius is dead. I found her and the Arch Militant in her study. Adelthrad's eyes widen. God, Emperor, preserve us. The rogue trader is dead. The ship has lost her Lord Captain, and the house its head. Adelthrad shudders and grabs his shoulder. As you watch, the sleeve of his doublet bursts open. 2 bone growths pierce through the fabric. No matter what ritual Kunrad is performing there, the warp is too strong. I can't withstand it, though my body changing with every second. As the warp rings in the air, this is the end. We'll perish in the warp along with the warrant and all of the dynasty's heirs. The enemy of humanity is victorious. Idira looks anxiously at Adelthrad. She glances back at you. I've seen this before. We better get away from him. Changes are already accelerating. The ship can still be steered out of the warp, but we must first restore communication between the bridge and the navigator sector. Adelthrad stares at you and his eyes harden with cold resolve once more. Then we have no right to bow our heads. You can see Kunrad Voigtveer clearly in the glimmer of the bridge. He's holding the now familiar broken blades stained with dark drops that seem to have a pearlescent glimmer to them. We are out of time. Adelthrad bites his knuckle, desperately thinking. You can see how a wave runs through the whites of Adelthrad's eyes as they begin to fill with a sickly yellowness. Well, I'm going to say to Adelthrad, that complicates things. Adelthrad lowers his head. Then he sighs and locks eyes with you, his gaze cold, haughty, and fanatical. The ritual will not be completed. I'll take care of it. And you, see to it that the void ship breaks free from the warp. Watch over our realm, and farewell. Accursed traitor! A time will come when you will bleed for her ladyship Theodora's murder. Remember my words, for they are the vow of he who marches towards his death. What? Theodora is dead? Void first stares at you in seemingly genuine bewilderment. Bewilderment? No, that cannot be. Not now, I still haven't... Oh, okay. So it really wasn't him. Oh. Well, that's not good.
Beware the ire of the witch.
Defeat the warp creature. Okay. Need to rearrange where we're standing. Remember, we get bonuses in cover for crit. Beyond that, I don't know. Also, can I control these guys? No, but they happen to be here. Interesting. In my test run through, this is the fight I got to. And I gotta say, these guys weren't here either. So there are slight differences. Because we went back and saved them, they're now in this fight. That's kind of cool. Right. Calder. You are gonna go there or there. I mean, I like full cover, but I also want him to be able to see. So let's do that. Let's put Abelard. Is this cover? Sort of, maybe. Sort of cover. Adira. Is this cover? That is not cover in the slightest. Ah, I don't have a ton of cover to work with then. Let's put her back here. Put Argenta here. Sorry, folks. Start the battle. Oh no, it goes first.
Can I
Ow.
go back now?
Ow. Okay. Well, not a great start. I'll be honest. Hey, 6 damage. Wonderful. So what did it do? So, it started off with Rending Scream. Target undergoes a toughness check. If failed, the target gains bleeding for 5 rounds, and we succeeded. Okay. But Abelard failed. So we succeeded, Abelard failed. Argenta succeeded. Yeah. Okay, that's fine. And then, what did it do after? It just chucked some goo at us? Is that going to do damage per... I don't think that's going to do damage per turn, but it looks like it should, maybe. Let's have a look at the Chaos Spawn here. So... Okay. It's got weapon attacks. There's 6 to 9 damage. Okay, Toxic Spurt. That's what it used on us. Creates a 3x3 toxic zone under the target which lasts for 2 rounds. The target undergoes a toughness check. If failed, the target is knocked down. Oh, okay. Devour. The creature devours an ally and restores 30% of the creature's maximum wounds. Okay, so if we hurt it to 30%, it's going to kill one of these guys and it's going to heal. So we want to kill these guys first so it can stop healing. So Dira, given that you're not in the goop, I think, I definitely want to chuck some lightning out here if I can. I can't reach, unfortunately. I could run out and chuck lightning. I could chuck lightning in there, but that's not going to be great. I could do this, maybe? And I probably need line of sight. That's the problem. I don't feel like going around there is smart, though. Maybe I could apply Clue to this. And then I can... let's apply Clues. Cool, then I can immediately remove one for exposed weakness. Yeah. Let's do that.
On it.
Okay, nice. And I can also apply Forewarning to Abelard.
Will do.
that's going to help us at all. I mean, I guess we could move over here, maybe. We would not be in cover, though. I think she has to just stay, unfortunately. This guy runs up, takes a shot at Abelard. It's a miss. Next is us. Now, we have to leave cover if we want to not take damage or have a chance of falling over. I don't really want to leave cover, though. I'm just going to take a shot. So let's do this first. Should give buffs to our allies and ours, although that didn't seem to give us any buff whatsoever, but let's not worry about that. Then we're going to shoot. Nice damage. Okay, so that's effectively 2 30% healths the boss could have got. Let's then go with one of these. Gives ourselves another turn. And we can take a 95% shot. Nice. Very solid. They now get 2 turns. This guy runs out into the middle of nowhere and shoots. Oh, he got a clue on him as well, interestingly. Okay. 5 damage on the spawn. Argenta, I think it's going to be a similar thing to our turn. It's just going to be firing on them. Yeah. Like this, probably.
Each strike is a prayer.
Nice. Okay. Then we will use shot on the run,
I act.
followed by shooting in this direction.
Doubt is for the weak.
Okay, we did some damage. He got 30% down and immediately absorbed that one. And then attacks Abelard.
I'll be back.
Abelard did not get a turn, unfortunately, which is not great for us.
Sacrifice for the Imperium.
Oh, upon hitting 30%, Chaos Spawn also got a whole turn. That is horrible. And now it's their turn next as well.
Cleanses the body.
Okay. Overseer. These can take some shots. Adira, I'd love to kill this one if I can. She can hit it. Let's do it. Perfect. By killing that one, what I've done is I've made it so this thing has nothing to heal off of. I can lower its stats again. I think that's a sensible move. Let's do it.
Was that you?
Okay.
Or...
And then I can give somebody forewarning, which I guess is going to be Argenta for just now. Okay. Cool. End turn. Our turn? Well, obviously we're going to leave the thing. I'm going to go into this. I don't even know if that will give me the crit. Let's just go over here for right this second. Get out of the way. Then shoot it. Probably like... Yeah, I want to do it like this. There we go. Nice. And we're going to go shot in the run. And we're going to do the exact same thing. We're just going to shoot it again. That's fine. Shoot it. Hey, we got a crit. Nice. Alright. And then end their turn. That guy, or these guys get a shot. Down to 50%. Argenta. Now, she would take an attack of opportunity unless I dash, in which case she will not. So let's dash back here.
Faith without deeds is worthless.
Okay. And start firing.
As
Let's
the
do it.
Emperor commands, I act.
Nice. Shot on the run.
I'll do it.
Followed by one shot, because I can't do any... I don't have enough bullets to do a burst fire. Although, wait a second. Could I switch my weapon? Does that cost... That probably costs an AP to switch, right? Well, it doesn't say it does. Let's just swap. Oh, I can't do it because I'm out of AP as well. Oh. Oh, well, I mean, I guess I should use this then.
As
Shoot
the
it.
Emperor commands, I act.
Nice. Now it gets a turn. Well, she's not dead yet.
I'm not injured. I'm enraged.
She's not injured. She told us herself. Okay. Adira, This is probably a switch to this kind of thing. I don't. Whoa, that's the wrong button. Does this affect it at all? Maybe. I kind of want to put clues on it and then expose weakness again. Let's do that. Let's clue it up. Nice. Followed by exposing weakness. Wonderful. Right, and we still have a shot if I want it. Let's switch to a ranged weapon. Oh no, I don't. Wait, I guess because... Wait, does the melee shot... Or does the melee weapon attack cost nothing? Costs 1. Ah, but the shot costs 2. Right? Yeah, because it only has pistol burst. Okay. In which case I should use a forewarning on you.
Anything else?
No, that's it. That's your whole turn. Do it. Our turn. Well, we're positioned in the right position. Shoot it. It's right in front of us. You cannot miss. And you probably could, but you know. And then we can kill it by using shot on the run. Lowers our accuracy. But now we shoot. We got it. Fantastic. Momentum. As it telling us about the momentum abilities we didn't use. I guess we were meant to use momentum ability in that fight. Okay, grab everybody, move them here. We're still alive, Overseer. Emperor protects us. No, I protect you.
Onward.
There's the Master Helmsman. So that must be where we go after this. Let's grab the goods over here. Ooh, mysterious sword shard. Mysterious sword handguard. And gloves of endurance. Whenever the wearer of these gloves gets an injury or falls unconscious, their allies gain +1 bonus to damage. Okay, so what does it tell us about this? Nothing. It's just mysterious. Alright, the gloves. We kind of assume that you're going to take a lot of injuries, so we'll give you those gloves.
Carry
Overseer.
the Emperor's will as your torch.
Auto pistol. Can do slightly more damage than a las pistol, but isn't guaranteed. Okay, I'll take it. I'm not sure who would need that, but we'll take it. Actually, you know what? We could give that to Adira right now, because Adira's las pistol only has 1 type of shot, while that has 2 types of shot. Yeah, which is definitely an improvement for us here.
They're trying to tell me something.
Over here. Don't see anything else going on. Okay, cool. Well, we've got to the Master Helmsman. So let's carry on.
I go where the whispers lead.
Okay, so from this point on, I know nothing. Bravor, Master Helmsman. Systems status report. Ooh, he's got a portrait. By the Emperor is the Seneschal, living and breathing. The white-haired man with sickly pale skin salutes you. Well, there's a tricky question. The whole place is so overgrown with foul wickedry, we'll be scrubbing it off the vid screens for throne knows how long. How did you people survive in here? The man glances around the bridge. Must have been Providence. It better have been the Emperor's and not someone else's. When they barged in here, the ones with the Master Whisperers, some officers charged them, but it wasn't even a fight. Grabbed whoever I could and dragged him behind the cogitators. And I prayed for a rescue. We need to re-establish contact with the Navigator Sanctum. It's our only chance of escaping from the warp. Your words seem to knock the officers out of their stupor, and the air around you fills with voices and commands being issued. You hear someone sobbing, one of the survivors buckling under the stress. Abelard cuffs the crying officer without even looking. Restore the Vox channel to the Navigator Sanctum. Ready the crew. Prepare for translation to real space. Abelard pauses for a few seconds before turning to you. Calder, you may call me superstitious, but the translation is not a good time to disregard rules. You are the only one who speaks for House von Valancius. You may not be the Lord Captain, but you, more than anyone else, deserve to take your place in the ritual that is about to commence. He directs your attention upward to the throne that sits at the apex of the tall staircase. What must I do? Take the Lord Captain's seat. Order the final preparations, wait for the officers to respond. Bah, blast it all to the void. Translation is a craft, not something to be explained in a tick. Just go up to the throne, Master Calder. These people are about to do the impossible. The least they deserve is the solace of seeing a figure sitting in the usual spot. Please hurry, every second we waste is a terrible risk. I'm ready, begin the ritual. Okay. Well, up to the throne we go. What is that? A vision of unimaginable vileness appears before your eyes. The flickering image shifts and wavers as if the azure-feathered creature is constantly changing while remaining the same. One of its eyes is engulfed in otherworldly fire, the other a vessel for ancient evil, bores into you. Its voice seems to seep directly into your brain without ever reaching your ears. Mortal, who are you to oppose the very flows of fate? So many threads stretch between you and the other creatures of your world. Pitiful, worthless links, ready to shatter at the slightest touch. A muddled, erratic, pointless tangle. What you want with me? The daemon peers into you. Your head begins to spin, your stomach turns, and viscous drops slither down your cheeks. This shard of reality drifting through my domain is merely the arena for the one who dared to vie for the favor of the gods. The aspirant vowed to return with a trophy, to procure that which elevates a mortal above others, a relic that could serve the edge of daybreak. That fate was assured and steps chosen, and yet you broke the unbreakable. The aspirant was defeated, and thus gave birth to a new aspirant. Your image is woven into the tapestry of things to come. I see you on the day when the final dawn rises over the metal world, when the gates of the realm of the sorcerer open and set the truth free. I see you at my side on the day I rise again. I am the will of the weaver of destinies, and today I will weave a new thread of elusive possibilities and fickle chances. The thread that will lead you out of the maw of irreversibility. The thread that will guide you in the weapon of our return. The daemon reaches towards you and sinks a ghostly claw into your chest. A terrible cold binds your body, and a cavalcade of hazy glimpses of a future yet unknown passes before your eyes. A flash of crimson, purple, the images replace one another in a violent kaleidoscope without ever letting you get a proper look at them. The path is set, child of dawn. The thread is woven. Follow it, servant of mine. Alright. Ravor turns around and looks up at you. He hesitates for a few moments and addresses Abelard, who is standing next to you. Seneschal, the navigator's sanctum is silent. The Vox signal is stable, which means... Abelard nods absent-mindedly. The navigator gave his life battling the storm that nearly claimed the Von Valencia's flagship. We'll honor his memory along with all who died this day. Ravor does not look away. He's giving you a hard stare, his white brow is furrowed. Seneschal, will you tell us now? Who is that? Where's the Lord Captain? It takes time for Abelard to respond. You watch as he grits his teeth, unable to bring himself to say anything. Finally, he adjusts his blood-stained coat, straightens and begins to speak. First Officer Abelard West Syrian is authorized to inform the officers. It is my greatest regret and indelible sorrow to inform you of the ultimate passing of Lord Captain Theodora von Valencias, rogue trader in the service of the Imperium. May her memory never fade from the annals of the dynasty. After waiting out the first wave of cried shocks, Abelard glances at you and continues. By right of blood succession, and with the absence of other kin who could challenge this decision, we're going to let him do it. It is hereby declared that the successor to Theodora von Valencias is Calder von Valencias, the rightful inheritor of the warrant of trade and the title of rogue trader. The official ascension ceremony will be held at a later time. In the interim, Abelard stops short and glares fiercely at the confused officers. Have you lost your tongues? Hail your lord. It is because of his toils that we all still live. The seneschal turns to you. He looks at least half a decade older. The deed is done, Calder. My apologies. I meant to say Lord Captain. Okay. And now we have a ship. I assume. We'll see after the loading screen. And now we have a ship. Deep shadows of weariness can be seen from Abelard's face. Though the old officer's eyes are keen, they rake over you from head to toe. He frowns, mutters something to himself, then nods to himself. Well then, your lordship. You must now hold your first officer's briefing in your new role as Lord Captain. For many who are about to join us on the bridge, this will also be their first briefing. We've sustained massive losses among the senior and middle-ranking officers. Some posts have had to be filled by deputies, while others go unfulfilled entirely. Now the deck clans are deciding who will take over the leaderless crews. How did we come to lose so many officers? It appears the heretics were deliberately targeting the vessel's command. They knew exactly whom they were looking for and where they could be found, which is unsurprising given their informant on board was our own Master of Whispers, Abelard Grimaces, who presumably is still on board somewhere. Okay. What's on the agenda for the meeting? Reports on the conditions of the ship and crew. The Lord Captain is not usually drawn away from our important affairs to attend such routine briefings, but this is a unique situation. I'm still receiving updates from across the ship, and they are not encouraging. Getting this bird to fly could take a gargantuan effort, even so far as you personally negotiating with the authorities of the system we are currently in. So prepare to hear a bevy of complaints and excuses, your lordship. Take this opportunity to get a good look at the officers who work 6 decks away from the bridge. They in turn will have the honour of beholding the visage of their Lord Captain. I'm ready, let's go. With a gesture, Abelard relays the orders to the adjutants at the far end of the magnificent chamber. Also, just to remind you, at the start of this day for this character, we were on a ship and we didn't know why. We'd just been summoned. By the end of the day, we're running the whole ship. A dozen pairs of eyes bore into you, their expressions revealing restraint, joy, curiosity, and weariness. Attention, officers, you've been granted an honor. Lord Captain Calder von Valancius will personally conduct today's briefing. Most gracious Lord Captain is ready to hear your reports. Perhaps you would introduce those present, Abelard. As you wish, your lordship. Abelard points to a tall, slender woman whose body seems to contain as many implants as it does flesh. Vigdis Suri Ota of the Tomalin line, our new Vox Master. It is an honor to serve, your lordship. The Vox Master offers a deep bow. Aboard this vessel, you have at your command thousands of crew members and hundreds of officers and section chiefs. I'm responsible for receiving, processing, and sending all communication between you and them, as well as external sources. I'm your eyes and mouth, Lord Captain. Beside her is Revor, the Master Helmsman. He steers our ship along the course set by the Lord Captain and monitors the void around us, to ensure we do not stray into an asteroid field or a pirate trap. The bearded man with pale, almost transparent skin, large, dark circles under his eyes, and a dour expression that seems hardwired into his face gives a solemn nod. Hail, Captain. This ship here is as good as home to me, so rest assured she's in safe hands. I'll die before I let her come to any grief. And lastly, our high factotum, Janice Danrock, who oversees supplies, procurement, and general material well-being of the ship. Oh, okay, interesting look. Dressed in an embroidered jacket, a heavy-set man with oiled hair offers an obsequious smile and bows. It is an honor, your lordship. You may trust me with all matters concerning your effort. Everything will be done to the highest standard. In the second row, we have 3 officers charged with overseeing the ship's vital functions. Master of Ordnance is responsible for the artillery aboard, the Infernus Master, whose crew work to prevent and extinguish fires on the ship, and lastly the Engine Master, servant of the Omnissiah. Supernatural entity, god of all knowledge, worshipped by the Adeptus Mechanicus. The 3 officers salute you. The Infernus Master does so with confidence, while the Master of Ordnance betrays nervousness. The Engine Master offers a salute resembling a dance, involving complicated manipulations of all the tech priests' mechadendrites. Tentacle-like robotic limb prosthetic, surgically attached to the spine. Is that everyone? Unfortunately, our choir master, the esteemed Zachary Weiss, head of the Astropath section, is unable to join us. He is in charge of communications with distant star systems. Master Weiss has been in a trance for some time now, attempting to contact other planets in the von Valancius Protectorate and inform them of Lady Theodora's passing and Kunrad Voigtver's treachery. I will deliver a report to your lordship on the Astropath's progress as soon as it is possible to do so. All others present are adjutants, secretaries, and deputies. They are here to make a record of proceedings. Okay. Let's start with, I don't know, a High Factorum. We are toiling day and night to compile a full account of the losses. The task will require next to no involvement from your lordship. I will personally ensure that all damaged components are given into the tech priest's hands for attention and all lost supplies are replaced. There is only one resource that I cannot replenish single-handedly, and that is people. We have lost more than 2,000 crew members, and unfortunately this number is confined to the scum from the lower decks, which are easily replaced, but also includes trained professionals. We will be able to make up our losses on the nearest planet, Rykad Minoris. However, the planet, the whole system in fact, belongs to the Winterscale rogue trader dynasty. We cannot simply begin recruiting on the planet without first coming to an understanding with the governor. In that respect, I am powerless. Negotiations at this level are a matter for the rogue trader. Especially true given Caligos Winterscale's penchant for attacking first and asking questions later, and the kind of thick-skulled thugs he usually installs as governors on his planets, rumbles Abelard, frowning. Okay, so I think that must have been the mission we were on in the alpha. Like, that was the reason we were on the planet, essentially. Okay. Helmsman. Right you are, Captain. To cut a long story short, the outlook is bleak. The ship's sound, more or less, but without our chief engineer and a navigator who fell in battle, we have no way out of the system. If we try to set so much as a toe inside the warp, I don't know what will happen first. Our warp drive being torn to pieces, or all of us melting into the bulkheads. Your lordship, if you will allow me to interject. When we arrived in the system, my crew followed standard protocols and conducted an account of all the available communications channels in the region. One of them was a Navis Nobilite Station, an ancient organization of noble mutant families whose genes allow them to safely guide warp-capable void ships through the Imperium. The station maintains complete Vox silence, but even its presence here inspires hope. To have located a navigator in the very same system is an incredible stroke of luck, a true blessing from the God Emperor. If I were you, I'd grab this chance with both hands, or else you'll be eyeing up asteroids to use as your new residence. In slightly less shitty news, we can go round and round the system till our heads are swimming as long as the Prometheum and supplies last. And if any thick as grok shit lowlifes come sniffing around, we'll be able to take him out, so don't you worry on that score. Okay, so we may be a ship that can't go, long distance, but we're still, effectively a warship and a very powerful one at that. I wish to hear the Infernus Master's report. Yes, Captain. A tall young man bows his head in deference. I can report that all fires across the decks have now been extinguished. The preliminary damage assessment in terms of the material losses and crew casualties has been completed. The results have been submitted to the Seneschal and the High Factorum. The post packed to him after the previous Infernus Master and his next 3 deputies expired in the line of duty, Abelard remarks in a low voice pitched for your ears only. The lad is managing so well so far. He can take the heat, so to speak. Engine Master, I'll hear from you now. A voice distorted by a Vox retranslator emerges from under the tech priest's scarlet hood. Lord Captain, the foes that set upon this noble void ship destroyed the repositories of hundreds of machine spirits. The great warp engine entrusted into my charge is unharmed, thank the Omnissiah, but its spirit mourns its dead brethren. We have not yet identified a prayer protocol capable of assuaging its sorrow and anger. With great sorrow, I must also report that the chief engine seer, overseer, and spiritual authority of all tech priests on board fell in battle. The Magos was betrayed by the little detestable flesh that remained part of him. A terrible loss. There was no one among my comrades aboard whose experience and comprehension of the sacred protocols equals that of the fallen Magos. We require a replacement, and as soon as possible. Would someone care to translate the esteemed engine master's words? The ship's most senior tech priest, the most senior in both rank and experience, is dead. If we do not find a replacement, we will be unable to resolve the problems with the warp engine, answers the Vox Master instantly without even thinking. This is not the first time she has acted as an interpreter between the ship's various inhabitants. Master of Ordnance, do you have anything to report? Master of Ordnance gives you a gloomy look. No, my job's simple. Maintain the arsenal and fire where I'm told. But just ask anyone. We've not got no able crew, no Lord Captain. Master of Ordnance, you forget yourself. So what? Comes the officer's hostile and bitter reply, as if the dam has burst inside and all his pent-up emotions are rushing out of him. The ship's in ruins, every second officer is dead, and now we've got a green Lord Captain who's supposed to lead us to void knows where. Silence! The bridge's magnificent glass pane seemed to tremble under the force of Abelard's roar. Enforcers, seize this mutineer. Oh, okay. Abelard grunts. If only one officer out of the whole lot has fallen to pieces, then that's not bad at all. Your lordship, I do humbly apologize on behalf of the entire crew. What would you have us do if the Master of Ordnance, the former Master of Ordnance I should say, besides find a replacement, that is, for we already have one lined up. Okay. Stand down, release him. I have no intention of punishing a man for his moment of weakness, not after the terrible attack we have endured. Execute him, or experienced Masters of Ordnance are few and far between, so for that reason he may remain in his post. I leave his punishment at your discretion. Okay. It would be useful to know what was expected here. I don't know. I guess we will leave Abelard to punish him. He may remain in his post. 20 lashes a month for the next half cycle. Deprivation of officers' rations and privileges for the same period. With an option to extend. Record that in his file. Okay, so you see Abelard didn't execute him immediately, so at least he's, like, you know, if we'd done that, he would have been like, that's a little harsh. Abelard stares unblinkingly at the Master of Ordnance. Cease your snivelling. You disgrace yourself and your entire clan. Enough. The hysterics are over. Let us resume. Master of Ordnance stands up, wiping the blood from his broken nose. His face is a picture of shock. What just happened seems to be dawning on him only now, and the knowledge of the fate he so narrowly escaped. I guess if he's like a new Master of Ordnance, he's not used to the consequences of the actions at this level, maybe? I don't know. Anyway. To summarize, we've sustained serious losses in crew numbers, and we require a new chief engineer and navigator. Is that all for preventing us from continuing the voyage? Precisely, Lord Captain. But bear in mind that this will not be the end of our trials. The ship is in need of serious repairs, which can only be carried out at Footfall Station, home to the only dockyard in the sector. But we will never reach Footfall without first solving these 3 immediate problems. What can you tell me about the system we currently find ourselves? In which we currently find ourselves. I cede to the Vox Master on this. I cede to the Vox Master on this point, Mistress Tumulin. Or anyway, we are in the Rykad star system, and our voyage here was undertaken on the orders of your lordship's predecessor. There are 3 inhabited bodies in this system, and our attempts to send Vox messages have produced confounding results. The Navis Nobilite station has simply failed to answer and seems to be maintaining total Vox silence. However, we did receive a distress signal from the prison planetoid in the system, and Rykad Minoris itself is also not responding to our hails. What's most alarming is that our augurs have intercepted signals from the surface that seem to indicate ongoing hostilities on the planet. Sensor technology that allows void ships to scan planets, spot enemies, and obtain various other kinds of crucial data at great distances. The situation is not very encouraging, but without a navigator, a tech priest, and new crew members, we will not be able to travel anywhere. Therefore, we must go to the planet and the Navis Novolite system and find out what in the void is going on. Well, thank you all for your reports. Dismissed. The assembled officers salute you as one. Your lordship, there is one other thing. A confidential matter of the utmost importance. Lady Theodora. Abelard hesitates. Your eternally esteemed predecessor brought this ship here to the system for a reason. She was given a secret commission. You were perhaps wondering who has the authority to commission a rogue trader to do anything. And I shall tell you, the Lord Inquisitor, the hand of the Emperor, the chief architect of his will in the Koronus Expanse. So, that's telling us about the Inquisition, and that's telling us about the Emperor. We've already read those. I came across a strange handwritten letter on Theodora's desk. It was signed XC. You're referring to the contents of that note, I presume. Yes, quite right. XC. Xavier Calazar. Lady Theodora was to seek out the Lord Inquisitor's right-hand man, one Henrix van Calox, an interrogator, you understand. All I know is he is somewhere in this system and that we must find him and offer him whatever assistance he requires, then deliver him to Footfall in the Verbundus system. Finding him without any more information to go on will be difficult indeed, but a navigator is an important individual. The authorities in this system, either the Navis Nobilite or the governor of Rykard Minoris, may know something. That is the all of it, your lordship. You have a great deal of work ahead of you. It is a mere taste of the daily burden of a rogue trader, so you must take up the reins of the von Valancius Protectorate. Abelard gives you another scrutinizing look, as if trying to gauge how long you will hold out under this mountain of problems. His face softens slightly, and he seems to be about to offer some words of encouragement. Oh? Idira? Sister Argenta, explain yourselves. The Sister of Battle grimly nods towards Idira. The Psyker is suffering some strange ailment or dark madness. She insisted on seeing the rogue trader. I judged it would be unwise to leave her unsupervised. For a brief moment, Sister Argenta's voice sounds hesitant. I was also hoping to approach you with a personal request, but it can wait. Talk with me when you have time, rogue trader. Idira's mutant eyes rove over those assembled. One word bursts from her lips. Daybreak. Idira, come to your senses. Damn it. Idira presses her fingers to her temples in desperation. Your lordship, here's the thing. I was trying to see the immediate future and it hit me so hard. My head is spinning. Something very strange is heading our way. I can't make out what it is, no matter how hard I try. A simple word is all I can make out. Daybreak? Or maybe it's dawn? It's ringing and ringing like an echo, like a bell. We cannot extract any information of value from a single word. Can you tell us anything else, Mistress Class? No, not yet anyway. The voices are going berserk, all shouting at once. I can't make any sense of it. As soon as I know or sense anything, I'll report it, alright? Well, if there's nothing else of value to report, I declare this briefing concluded. It's time to get to work. They leave, and with that, we are now ready to end the episode and our brief look at the beta for Rogue Trader. I'm excited to try it out. It's definitely not perfect yet, but it's a lot better than the alpha. The main thing I think the game is missing is just like the UI being consistent, as in like, you know, we had little glitches here and there, we had little moving around glitches, all of that sort of stuff I expect to be cleaned up, and then just like tooltips everywhere for everything. Like every single ability, just like if it's not explained, just more explanation, and that's the kind of thing that they seem to be adding in, right? Bit by bit, there's a little bit more, there's a little bit more, there's a little bit more. And I think by the time that the game comes out, we're gonna have a fairly, I don't want to, like, I would say a fairly polished experience in terms of what we're looking for. I don't want to say too polished, but by Owlcat standards, this is looking very good. And by that I mean, like, Kingmaker was very, very buggy. Wrath of the Righteous was fairly buggy, but, you know, it was much better. And then this seems to be another step up, which is a good sign. It's a good sign. And, you know, I'd expect, based upon Kingmaker and Wrath of the Righteous, that they will probably fix this up as well over time. So, Thank you very much for watching, and I hope you will all join me for more of this when the game actually comes out. If you want some more content which is similar, we've got Wrath of the Righteous and Kingmaker playthroughs, which are the previous two Owlcat games, the developers of this game, but they're based on the Pathfinder system. And currently ongoing is the Baldur's Gate 2 series, which is another CRPG, which is not too dissimilar to the Pathfinder games that I just suggested. So, thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.